an email this morning letting people know that we were going to have the Zoom. So not sure why that didn't go out, but I will find out a little later. But nonetheless, for all of you that are here, my name is David T. Rosen. I am the founder and creator of Co-op Business, and I am going to share with you what I believe, actually, what I know is your number one opportunity to get from where you are today to where you are tomorrow. And as I go through this presentation, the first part of the presentation, I'm going to give you an overview. I've got some slides that I'm going to be sharing with you in a few moments. And on the second part, I'm going to show you that new tool that I offered, that I showed everybody on Tuesday, and how it works. Because folks, let me tell you, if you're wondering how you're going to get your co-op business off to a great start, this tool that I'm going to share with you is absolutely it. It is the bomb. It's never been used before. It is a one of a kind, and it is a tool that will allow you to supersize your co-op business, supersize your generation, your pop income, and really get an opportunity to help all those that you care about take the plunge into Co-op Crowd absolutely risk-free, because we've got something that no one else has ever done before, and we aren't here to try and sell people. We're here to try and show people that this is the solution, this is the answer, and this is your surest way to wealth. So with that, Miss Jo, can we share the slides, please? All right, here we go. So welcome, welcome, welcome. As you see on that first slide, it says, generate wealth and be part of something bigger. And it's always been my passion, my mission to create a business opportunity that every single person in the world can use. We have done that with Co-op Business. Now, not only have we done that with Co-op Business, you will also find that in this business opportunity that I have said is something that is bigger than all of us, we also have the opportunity to beat poverty. And not only beat poverty, but create a world of equality. And as we create a world of equality, free of racial divides, gender biases, and give everybody an opportunity to succeed in business, we'll be able to help more people. So if we can go to slide 2, please, Joe. And slide 2, as it says, we can create a better world for all of us. Imagine, we can create a better world for all of us with just $1 a day. Think about that for a minute. One single dollar a day. And your life can go from where it is right now to where you want it to be in a few short days, a few short weeks, or a few short months, because you're going to find that co-op business is created specifically for you. And when I say specifically for you, it doesn't matter whether you're a master marketer. It doesn't matter whether you have limited time. It doesn't matter if you have no experience. It doesn't matter whether you're at a retirement age. It doesn't matter if you are a teenager. No matter where you are in your life right now, if you want it to be better, if you want to improve your lot in life from a financial perspective, you can do so with Co-op Business. Next slide, please, Joe. So, Co-op Business, let me just make this a little bigger. My eyes are great, but they're not what they used to be, so I need to make that a little bit bigger. So Co-op Business is a revolutionary cooperative business building system. Now focus on that. A revolutionary cooperative business building system. It means that it empowers all of us to become successful entrepreneurs, business owners and generate. You're going to hear the next part several times during the course of this webinar. Generate a predictable, ongoing passive income. We call it pop income. Predictable because once it gets going, it's not going to retreat. It's going to keep growing, growing, growing. Excuse me. Giving you a predictable, ongoing passive income. Ongoing because, listen, guys, your bills, you get bills in your mailbox or in your email box every single day. If you only received an income once, it would mean that you can only pay your bills once, or only pay your bills until that income that you received runs out. So you need a predictable, so that you know what's coming in. You need it to be ongoing. And in today's day and age, with almost 1 billion people losing their jobs over the course of the last 5 years, from artificial intelligence to technology to layoffs to downsizing, the big businesses laid off almost 1 million people in a single day last month. If you go out and you look to this side, you look to this side, you're probably going to find somebody who has recently lost their job. And here's the problem. 15 years ago when you lost your job, there was another job to replace the one you lost. Today, when you lose your job, there isn't another job to replace that job that you just lost because artificial intelligence has taken over that job. If you recall, several years ago, all of a sudden ATM machines made it less likely that you needed to go into a bank and use a teller. And 15 years later, nobody goes to a bank. Well, very few people actually go into a bank today. Downsizing the tellers that were once needed. Today, when you go into a grocery store, you don't go to a counter, put your items on a conveyor belt and let that person ring them through. Today, you go to a machine and you scan your groceries yourself. Again, eliminating jobs. When you go to a gas station, now you got to pump your own gas. They haven't reduced the prices, but you got to pump your own gas, eliminating more jobs. And if you've been watching the newspapers, reading the posts on the internet, watching the news, you see how many jobs are being eliminated every single day. In 2009, I predicted that we would be entering the cooperative age. And that is exactly where we are now. In this cooperative age, in this age that we are in right now, big business doesn't need us anymore. The governments, they don't have enough money to help all of us anymore. So right now, the only person that is qualified and wants to help you the most on this planet is you. So you need a new plan A. You don't need a job. You don't need government help. You need a new plan A. And that plan A is co-op business and giving you that pop income. Next slide, please, Joe. Now check that out. You heard me say for $1 a day. Imagine you get global business ownership. Nowhere else on the planet can you get a global business, but you can here at Co-op Business. You get global business ownership for $1 a day. And that gives you business ownership. It gives you business expert, business mentorship, and it gives you an opportunity to fund your life and to create that pop income and to create not only generational wealth, and let me explain generational wealth and intergenerational wealth. Generational wealth is what our grandparents aspired to and our parents aspired to. Make enough money so that when they kick the bucket, they got something to leave you. No. Co-op business is going to allow you to create intergenerational wealth. You're going to have the opportunity to make so much money right now while you are living. You'll be able to share it with your loved ones and your friends and your favorite causes without having to die. You'll be able to enjoy the money that you are receiving. Next slide, please, Joe. Now, you know, people talk about business ownership. People talk about giving you motivation. There's all kinds of things that you can get on the internet that give you a little piece of this motivation, or a little piece of this, some books and courses and things that you can read. And maybe some places will even give you an opportunity to earn an income. Here in Co-op Business, we give you everything under one roof. And I know from my own personal experiences, because I've been homeless on more than one occasion, and I've been very, very wealthy on more than one occasion. And I can tell you right now that being wealthy is way better than being homeless or not having enough money. And when you don't have enough money, you can't focus on making your life better. You can't focus on a business opportunity that may come to you. So we know here at Co-op Business that the first thing that we need to do is we need to create an income that covers your monthly bills so that you can live, and covers your monthly bills and covers your outstanding debt. Because when you have your monthly bills covered and you have your outstanding debt covered, you can live debt-free and stress-free. And then we focus on your passions, the business opportunity that you want to start for yourself, the way you want to help those that are closest to you, the way you want to help your favorite causes. We're going to help you become debt-free, stress-free, and financially free. And not only are we going to do those things, but we're going to give you and provide you with enough financial resources to not just live for today, but to live for the rest of your life. Next slide, please, Joe. Now, you heard me talk about cooperative lifestyles in the cooperative age just a few moments ago. You see, in the cooperative age, in that age that we are in now, you see, today, we need to rely on our relationships. We need to leverage our relationships and have our friendships leverage the relationships with us so that we can all win. Because today, we need each other. Today, it is us working together, preparing together, coming up with ideas together, doing everything together, and participating in that cooperative lifestyle. Again, nobody on this planet cares more about you than you. Big business is not going to give you an opportunity that will allow you to work for a couple of weeks and then never have to work again. The government is not going to pay you from now until forever and provide you with enough money so that you can live your life and enjoy your full measure of happiness. You see, in the cooperative age, the age that we are living right now, the age that I created with these business models, this is the system that allows us to enjoy our full measure of happiness. What could there be that's more enjoyable than being able to choose when we get up in the morning, than being able to choose what we want to do when we get up in the morning, to be able to choose who we're going to spend our time with, to be able to choose where we are going to live, to be able to choose absolutely everything that is important to you in your life. What type of health products you're going to get for yourself, what you're going to do to live a healthy lifestyle. If you have a job, it is almost impossible to live a healthy lifestyle. You know, a lot of people say that the most important thing is health, and it is. However, you cannot enjoy a healthy inside and a healthy outside if you are struggling to pay your bills. It takes money to drink the right water. It takes money to fill your body with the right nutrients and the right vitamins. It takes money to live in an environment that is safe for you and your family. It takes money to simply go out and get a bottle of water. You need money. And as I have said for 22 years that I have been online, that money is not about greed. It is about need. And money is the transportation and the vehicle that will take you from where you are right now to where you want to be in your life. And I'm going to share something with you just before we go to the next slide. So as most of you already know, in 2001, I was homeless and I created the world's first crowdfunding system. It was a homeless man that created the world's first crowdfunding system. That first system that I created out of need. But instead of creating a system that was just for me, I created a system that others who were in the same situation could use to get themselves out of that situation. We all know what happened to crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is now a household name in which hundreds and hundreds of millions of people use it every day to fund themselves for anything. From an emergency, a medical emergency, to funding a government to help pay for a natural disaster, to funding a presidential campaign. Crowdfunding is now used for virtually everything. And when I created that first system, even though we did almost $1.1 billion in 172 countries, I knew we could do better. So I didn't rest with that success, because that initial success was geared for about 15% of the population. So I knew I wasn't done. And then in 2018, after overcoming a 6-year illness, I modified that crowdfunding system. And that modification meant that crowdfunding system was good for about 35% of the population. We did $50 million in the first 3 months. It helped 100,000 people. But I knew I could do better. And here we are right now. When I look back over the course of the last 22 years, and I think about the promise that I made to myself, because the most important promise that you can make is the promise that you make to yourself. Because if you make a promise to yourself, you're not going to break it. Because if you break it, you're disappointing the most important person on the planet, you. So hopefully when we get through this and you like what you see, do what I did back in 2001. Make a promise to yourself to complete the 2 steps. This system that we have right now, it is the perfect system. This is the system that 100% of the people on planet Earth can use to change their lives financially. This is the greatest system ever built for us, and it will create the largest mass distribution of wealth the world has ever seen, and it can help you. Next slide, please, Joe. So this is the most important part, right? How we do it, right? Because if it is too difficult, it doesn't matter how big that carrot is on the other side of the tasks that you need to do. If you can't do it, you can't do it. If you can't afford it, you can't do it. If you don't understand it, you can't do it. For me to create a system that was good enough for 100% of the people on this planet to be able to accomplish the successes that they desire, the system needed to be easy to understand. It is. It's 2 steps. The system needed to be affordable. It is. You can even get started for free. And as a free member, you can make money. But I highly recommend that you start at $1 a day or $11 a day. The choice is yours. but get started. And the third aspect, to make a perfect system that 100% of the people could use and share with every single person that they've ever come in contact with, is this. It needed to be hugely rewarding. It is. Watch this. Next slide, please, Joe. Just 2 steps to a multi-million-dollar, predictable, ongoing passive income. Let me say that again. 2 steps to a predictable, ongoing passive income that can generate a multi-million-dollar income for you and your family. Now, here's the most important part, because, you know, lots of companies make stories. They tell you, put in $1,000, and miraculously in 180 days, they're going to turn that $1,000 into $1.7 million. But it never happens. Other companies say, complete 3 steps and put in $100, and we're going to turn that into $1 million. But they've never proved it. Other companies have made really wild claims. Not a single other company out there has been willing to prove it. Until now. We are willing to prove it free. So as I go through these slides, and you see what happens when you complete step 1, and you see what happens when you complete step 2, and you see what happens as your cooperative fills, and then you come to the realization that if you complete these 2 simple, doable steps, you can actually have a multi-million-dollar income. And I'm willing to prove it free. We are willing to let you use the system for free for as long as you want until you decide to pay and make it real. Next slide, please, Joe. So in the next few slides that I'm going to show you, it's based on each individual registering 3 people so that they can become business owners. Not registering 2 people, not registering 1 person, not registering 10 people. We already know that some of you will register 100 people. We also know that some of you won't do anything. So if you want to achieve what you're about to see, then you have to do at least what I'm about to show you. So 3 people, each of us helping 3 people get into business for $1 a day. And that's not going to be that difficult because we all know people who need to become entrepreneurs and who need to have a business because there's no jobs out there. This is what you do next. So on the next slide here, and I've broken this down. You know, I tried to break it down many different ways. But I've broken this down, and hopefully this is as clear as possible. So because this is a cooperative, it means that we each do a little to all receive a lot. And this is POP Income Stage 1. On POP Income Stage 1, in our cooperative, there are 3 positions. We are each responsible for filling at least 3 positions. So on my first level, I'm going to invite 3 friends. I'm going to invite Joe, I'm going to invite Keith, and I'm going to invite Doug. When I do, I receive $26. Next slide. This next slide completes your second step. Your first step is to register and choose the cooperatives that you want to join. Your second step is to invite 3 who invite 3. So when your 3 invite 3 more, that's a total of 12 people. You are now receiving a royalty from 12 people. And you'll get that royalty every 28 days from those 12 people. Now, Pay close attention to what happens here. You worked in income stage 3 and you helped 3 people become business owners. You worked in income stage 2 and you ensured, never give people away, you ensured that the 3 people that you've invited, they each helped 3 people to become business owners. So each of us only have to help 3 people to become business owners. And in this big, bad world with 8 billion people and more than 3 people, as soon as you step outside your door, going to work and first helping yourself by helping 3 other people get into business and then helping them 3 to do the same, your work is done. But now you've set yourself up to create a predictable, ongoing passive income. Look at the next slide, income stage 3. The 9 people that your friends invited, they each go out and get 3. Now you're receiving a small donation, a small royalty from 39 people. Remember, you only invited 3. You're now receiving a small royalty from 39 people, and you received $87. And by the way, let's go back to income stage 2 just for a moment, please. So remember what I said, it's $1 a day, right? It's $1 a day, and you renew every 28 days. When you complete these 2 steps, you got $38. That is enough so that you never again need to reach into your pocket for money. It now comes out of your profits. It comes out of your wallet. And now you're good. So now let's go on to that next stage. They've invited 3, now you're up to $87. Now those 27 people are going to invite 3 people. That's another 81 people. Now you're up to 120 people, and you're up to an income of $249. That process continues because remember, we are each going to find 3 who duplicate. And now some of you might be saying, well, what if my friend doesn't? What if my friend says, I don't want to do this? What if my friend says, I don't have any friends? What if you invited somebody and all of a sudden that person who told you that they are going to be a team player, they're going to be a driver and not just simply a passenger, they've all of a sudden got cold feet and they don't want to do it. What are you going to do? It's simple. Don't let that spoil your dream. Get one more, right? Just get one more. Do not let anybody else take this dream away from you. This is your dream. If all 3 of them, for some reason, say that they don't want to do it, get 3 more. But don't give up on your dream. And let me share another important fact with you. What we are doing is brand new. We are telling people for $1 a day and 3 friends, we're going to help you to create an income of $1 million a month. I can tell you that if one of my friends came to me and said that I only have to pay $1 a day and help 3 friends pay $1 a day, that I'm going to have a multi-million-dollar income, I would probably laugh as well. We are new. People don't understand it yet. So you might have to talk to 20 people. You might have to talk to 30 people. Pretend you were a shoe salesman. And the only way that you were going to eat at the end of the week is to sell 500 pairs of shoes. And it's your job. Or maybe you're working in a bank. And the only way that you're going to get that $500 a week is to go to that bank at 9 a.m. every day and leave that bank at 5 p.m. every day, putting in 9 hours a day, including breaks. You do it because you know if you don't do that, you're not going to get a paycheck at the end of the week. So now that I put things in perspective for you, would you rather go and work at a bank for 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire poor, or would you rather help 3 friends become wealthy? So when you ask yourself realistically whether or not you can do it, change your question to what's life going to be like if I don't do it? I know for a fact you're on this webinar because you want more out of life. This is it. And now let me tell you the real kicker, right? Because as more and more people use this system, and all of a sudden, you know, we got a testimony online. Hey, I joined the system. They said that it was going to do this and it was going to do this. I didn't believe them, but I tried anyways. And they said that I receive my money immediately and I can withdraw it 24 hours a day. I didn't believe them. I had $50 in my bank. I did a withdrawal and the money got to me that same day. And not only did the money get to me that same day, I used it to pay off part of my phone bill so my phone bill doesn't get connected. That's a testimony. Or maybe someone who's in it for 2 weeks, right? And they're working hard. They're doing their thing. They've been in it for 2 weeks. And they still haven't done a withdrawal. And they don't know whether it's going to, when they do that withdrawal, if it's going to work or not. And then they do a withdrawal. And they withdraw $1,400. And their rent is $1,100. And that $1,400 comes and lands in their bank. And they take $1,100 and they pay their rent. That is a testimony. We are going to have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of testimonies of people experiencing the results that we tell them that they are going to experience because this system works. We have been putting this system together now for almost a decade. The wallet that we created so that you can withdraw your money and receive your money every single second of every single day. We've already done over 100,000 withdrawals. People just like you have logged into their dashboard and they say, I want my money. And they took it out over 100,000 times. This business that we're talking to you about right now, this life-changing opportunity that we're talking to you about right now, the opportunity to create pop income and a predictable, ongoing passive income that can last you a lifetime. We've been putting this together for over 10 years. So this is not something that, you know, last week I woke up and I said, hey, I got a good idea. Let's put it together. No. This is something that has been well thought out. It has been practiced. It has been tried. Every aspect of what you're seeing here is an absolute fact. Every aspect of what you're seeing here, we have already tried it. We've made mistakes. We fixed the mistakes. Every aspect that you see of this business opportunity right now works. Woo! I'm getting pumped. And by the way, folks, listen. You know, sometimes people, they look at someone doing something and they think, that guy's he's too hypey. You know, he's too jacked up. I don't believe him. Why is he so hyped? I'm hyped because I know exactly what this business is going to do for you. And I've already seen it. We've helped over 1.1 million people around the world. All right. I think we're on income stage 6. Let's go, actually 4. Go to income stage 4, please, Joe. I can see on this computer where we are. So now those 27, they get 81. Now you got 120 people. Those 120 people are going to be sending you a royalty every 28 days from clockwork. Let's go to stage 5. Stage 5, those 120 people, they each get 3 people each. Now you're receiving a royalty from 363 people, and you're up to $538. Are you rich now? No. But your cooperative is still growing. And guess what? At this time, when your cooperative is growing, you might be on a plane on your way to Barbados. You might be sitting in a restaurant having lunch with your friend. You might even be sleeping. But your income is growing. That is the passive part of what we're doing. Do the work once, keep receiving every second of every day. Now let's go to income stage 6. Income stage 6, 243 people. They each go out and get 3 people. You know, now you're receiving an income from 1,092 people every 28 days. You got $1,791 coming in. This next stage, this stage 7, this is a very significant stage, even though it amounts to literally less than 0.001% of the income that you're about to receive. It is a significant stage because in stage 7, you can receive $4,183. 90% of the people living in North America, their monthly expenses are $4,000. Their monthly expenses are $4,000. That means that for 90% of the people that use this system, by the time they get to income stage 10, which can happen in 7 days, it can happen in 7 weeks, it can happen in 7 months. It's totally up to you. But when they get there, their monthly bills are covered. And as we continue along, it just blows my mind. As we continue along, we get to income stage 8. Income stage 8. There's 2,187 people on income stage 8. They're going to get 3 people. When they get those 3 people, now you're receiving a royalty every 28 days from 9,840 people. Now you're starting to take a little deeper breath. You got some money coming in, and you're starting to get out of debt. You're probably not out of debt yet, but you're starting to get out of debt. Now we go to income stage 9. Income stage 9, there's 6,565 people that are in your cooperative from income stage 8, sorry. Those 6,561 people, they're going out to get 3 people. Now you're receiving a small royalty every 28 days from 29,523 people. And you got an income of $42,000. Let's go to income stage 10. Income stage 10. You know, there's 10 stages in your cooperative. And in income stage 10, on that stage alone, there's 19,683 people. I want you to think about what I'm going to say next. Do you know 19,683 people? The answer is probably no. I know a lot of people. I might know 19,683 people. But even I can't invite 19,683 people to co-op business. But guess what? All right? Listen close, folks. Listen close. Those 19,683 people, guess what? It's their day one. It's their day one. They aren't thinking about 20,000 people. They aren't thinking about 1,000 people. They're thinking of 3. The same way that you might be thinking of 3 right now, today. Imagine as your cooperative continues to grow, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And 99% of your income is generated on this stage. And the bonuses, which I'm going to show you next. Those 19,683 people, they go out and they personally help 3 people to become global business owners. You are now getting a small royalty every 28 days from 88,572 people. Would you like to receive a small royalty from 88,572 people every 28 days? Of course you would. Now let me take you back, way back. Remember, on day 1, you had 2 steps to complete. Register and choose your cooperatives. Step 1. No problem, right? All you're doing is putting out a few bucks. Step 2, help 3 friends that you care about, that you'd like to get wealthy with. Get into co-op business and have them do the same. You did that way, way, way back on income stages 1 and 2. From that point forward, you went from having 39 people in your cooperative and now stopped working to having 88,572 people in your cooperative and receiving a small donation from those 88,572 people. You see, that's $175,589. That's not it. That is not it. You see, this system that we've created is a system unlike any other system on the planet. My first system that I created back in 2001, it was just a simple 2x2. But to this day, 22 years later, no one has figured out how to make that their 2x2 go like my 2x2. It's a very simple system, 2 levels. And no one has been able to duplicate it yet. This system is way more complicated. Let's go to the next stage. You see, we have created an algorithm that as you continue to grow, as your business gets bigger and bigger, we reward you. We reward you. When you've completed those 2 simple, doable steps, the rewards never stop. So while you're still trying to figure out what you're going to do with $175,000, we're still creating an income for you. And then you're going to get up to, with just 3 friends who duplicate, and so on. With just 3 friends who duplicate, and so on. Not 30 a week, not 3 a week, not 300. With 3 friends who duplicate, you can receive $972,753 every 28 days. $12 million a year. Now, let me remind you, please, what you did. You registered. You helped 3 people that you care most about. It might have been your mother. It might have been your brother. It might have been your wife. It might have been your friend. It might have been somebody who's been pouring you coffee steadily for the last 3 years, and you want to help them out. You've helped 3 friends get what they want. And now you're receiving $972,753 every 28 days. Let me ask you a very simple question. Would that make a difference in your life? Of course it would. Now here's the kicker. So let's go to the next page. Oh yeah. We also have the $10 a day cooperative. So on the $1 a day cooperative, you can receive $972,753 every 28 days. The $10 cooperative is 10 times that amount. And guess what? It's the same amount of work, but 10 times more money. And guess what else? You automatically get put into that $10 a day cooperative. You automatically get to supersize your income. You automatically get to supersize your cooperative, and your friends. They also get put into the $10 a day cooperative. It's up to you. You can turn it off. You can turn off your income anytime you want and withdraw all your money and quit anytime you want. So no one's holding you to this. But if you just let the system go to work for you, these are the results you can expect. Now on that last page, it says complete the 2 steps. We each do a little to all receive a lot. Come on, dudes and dudettes. Dudes and dudettes. Really? Is this something you really want to say no about? Is this something you want to sit back and think about? Or is this something that you can see an opportunity that for $99 one time out of pocket and helping 3 friends get what they want, is that not worth the risk of you seeing if this system can work for you? The answer is yes. Of course you want to give it a try. Why wouldn't you? But just in case you may be still not convinced, just in case you are convinced, but the people you talk to, they need a little more information, we're going to provide it to them. Joe, I've got my screen shared. If you can bring up that screen share, that would be fantastic. And I see we've got that screen shared. All right, folks, this is your system. This is your site. This is a pretty cool video here. It talks about the real face of poverty. It's only a 1-minute video. I'm not going to play it for you right now. It's a 1-minute video. You know, most people think that poverty is somebody living in a third world country. Somebody that, you know, they don't have, they're sleeping in dirt, or they're sleeping in the slums. No, listen, I live in Toronto, 6 million people here in Toronto. Of those 6 million people that are living in Toronto, more than 5 million of those people are the real face of poverty. Because poverty is when you have a full job, and at the end of the month, when you've worked 40 hours a week for 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks, and you get your income at the end of that month, and you still can't pay your bills. You still can't get the food that you want. You still can't get the vitamins that you want. You can't afford health care. You can't afford a vacation. You can't afford clothes. You have to get a second job. Sometimes you need to get a third job. Sometimes you need to get a roommate. Folks, that's no way to live. When our parents had a job, they had a job that paid them a couple $100 a week. And with that couple of $100 a week, they could eat. They could put a down payment on a house. They could have a nice car. They could go out with their friends. In today's day and age, and this part's going to shock you, if you make $25,000 a week, $25,000 a month, you are broke. You're living in poverty. Let me tell you why. If you make $25,000 a month in Toronto, at the end of the year, you've made $300,000. Each month of that $25,000, you're going to pay about $7,500 in taxes. That now leaves you $13,500. That now leaves you $1,700. Your monthly expenses just to live a decent life in Toronto is another $5,000 a month. Now you're down to $12,500. If you save all your money For a whole year, you don't buy any extra clothing. You don't go on a vacation. You don't buy extra food. You don't have any fun. You'll have $150,000 at the end of the year. You can't even buy a nice car. Well, you can get a nice car, but you can't get a good car for $150,000. And a house? The average price for a house here in Toronto is $2 million. So if you make $25,000 a month in Toronto, the only thing that you can get at the end of the year is debt. Let that sink in, folks. And it doesn't matter where you live. If you live in Boston, if you live in Vancouver, if you live in Tanzania, your costs are similar. You've got to be making a decent income if you want to live and enjoy your full measure of happiness. Now, let me show you how you can live and enjoy your full measure of happiness absolutely risk-free. You all have what I'm about to show you in your back office. And by the way, many of you don't know, you have 3 cooperatives. As you see, these ones I've made them all zeros. You have 3 cooperatives. You got a 28, you got a 280, and you got a co-op free. Look at this co-op free. In this co-op free cooperative, as you see in my dollar a day, it says I would have received $797,194.55. And in my $10 a day, because it's 10 times the amount, I would have received $7,971,945.50. Let me ask you a question. Would that make a difference in your life? Of course it would. So if you want to prove to yourself, if you want to prove to your team that this system does exactly everything that we say it does, go to step 1 and invite some friends. I'm going to invite a few friends here. Actually, I'm only going to invite one friend. So now, let me go back up here. It says that it changed. See that? Look at that. It says that I got $606.50 and $6,065 in my $10 a day cooperative. When we invite people, this is a simulation. And by the way, folks, it is an exact replica of the paid system. So whatever you do in this system, if you do the exact same thing in the paid system, you're going to get the exact same results. Now watch what happens when I invite one person. Look at that. It changed. It shows me how much more money I would receive by inviting that one person. But it gets better. It gets way better. Because now that I've invited that person, I'm going to go to my co-op team. And I am going to go, there's the person I just invited. There is their email address. All right. Now, before I leave this page, but I am going to show you what's going to happen. That person, and by the way, as you can see, this is all phony information. This is not real information. This is all fake information in here. That particular person, because I invited them, I've set them up with their very own free account. The free account that I set them up with gives them a site that looks exactly like this. So when you invite your friends to try the system and show them and prove to them that co-op business is a business that will allow them to go from where they are today to where they want to be tomorrow, you get to prove it to them. Now look at this tool that we got here. We got a step 2. Share your link. Share your financial report card. You get to share your financial report card, and you get to share it on Facebook. I'm going to click on this link, And I think if I switch screens, it's going to show me what's going to happen. Takes a second, because right now this is on a demo site. It's not a real site. Come on now, don't let me down. Maybe I got too many things open. I got 3 phones online. I got 2 computers online. I got my iPad online. Come on now. All right, let me try this one. Share it on Twitter. Actually, let me do a refresh. All right, go back over here, share the link. All right, let me show you what happens on the site. So now I'm going to share this screen. Share this screen instead. So now I'm sharing this screen. All right, so this is where I posted that share to. You see that? This was just a test one, but this is what happens, is that when you share this on your Facebook page, or you share this in Instagram or on Twitter, or soon to be on TikTok and some of the other social media platforms, when you share your experience, every day it'll be a new picture. Every day it'll have a new saying there. And every day those totals, the today totals, the week totals, and the overall totals will have changed. So if it's your first day and you share it today and you're at $18, tomorrow when you share it, because you've probably built up your business, you might be at 200. The next day you might be at 500, and so on and so forth. When you share this with your social media and somebody clicks on this, it takes them to your site. And when it takes them to your site and they say, join us, they register with you. And that, folks, is how you grow your business without having the stress of trying to convince people to join. Let them join you for free. Now let me go back to the business over here. Where am I? Log in. That's not the one I want. Let me go back over here. There I'm logged in again. There I go. All right, so now I'm back over here. So folks, if you want to grow your business, do it in a way that takes the stress off of you. Do it in a way that takes the stress off of your friends, because remember, this business is going to outlast us. In 55 years from now, when we're dust, our family, our next generation will still be benefiting from the things that we are doing here today. That first business that I created in 2001, it is still going on today. It'll still be going on 55 years from now. Co-op business, what you do today will still be rewarding you 55 years from now, 75 years from now. It will be rewarding you and your family. So this, folks, we can stop sharing, Joe, and bring me on screen if you don't mind. All right, this went a little longer than I anticipated, but there's so much to share. And pretty soon, it'll get to the point where, this will be down to a 20-minute presentation, because here's the real deal. The only thing that we need to do is complete the 2 steps. How long does it take to say, get started in co-op business, get business ownership, expert mentoring, and an opportunity to create a predictable ongoing passive income for $99, one time out of pocket, and invite 3 friends to do the same. It doesn't take that long. So folks, start growing your business while you're trying to figure it out. You can invite as many people as you want. You don't have to stop at 3. If you want to invite 30, you want to invite 300. And by the way, that social share that I showed you there, not just the social share, and when you put your names in there and you invite those people, if you put 3 names, 3 phone numbers, 3 email addresses in there for a month, that's 90 people. we as a company are going to be marketing to those 90 people on your behalf. So don't just stop at 3. Don't stop at 30. If you know 100 friends, invite 100 friends, because you don't know who's going to say yes and who's going to say no. And let me share something else. Those numbers that I showed you, those are what happen when you invite 3 who invite 3. What do you think will happen when you invite 10? What do you think will happen when you invite 30, when you invite 100, when you invite 1,000? I know, because we wrote a script to see what would happen to many of the influencers that we have that are jumping on board right now. We wrote a script to see what would happen if they invited 1,000 people. And then those 1,000 people that they invited, only 10% actually went out and got 3 who got 3. 60% did absolutely nothing. Folks, the numbers blew our mind. You have no idea what you're in for. The only thing that I can say to you right now is that my name's David T. Rosen. I put my reputation on this business. And here's how I put my reputation on this business. So far, I've sent over $11 million of my own money. I don't have any investors. I don't have any partners. I don't have any shareholders. $11 million of my money. I'm allowing you to use my system for free for as long as you want. If this system didn't do exactly what I said it would do, no one would use it, and I wouldn't get my money back. So that's the risk that I'm taking. I'm risking everything, allowing you to use the system for free. Now I'm only asking you to risk a little bit of your time to use the system, share the system, and see if it works. We know it will. Anyways, I'm David T. Rosen. This has been another presentation that took me an hour today. It's been another great presentation. We got another presentation on Saturday. On Saturday, we've got a Q&A. And on that Q&A that we had on Tuesday, there were 2 places where people were putting their questions. One was in the chat. The other place was in the Q&A part. We didn't know that the questions were also being put in the chat, so we missed them. So some of you had put some questions in there on Saturday. We are going to address them because we've got a copy of all those questions. So we're going to address those questions for you on Saturday. We're going to address the other questions that you have on Saturday. So between now and then, get busy with it. Use the system. See how it works. If you got some questions, bring them on Saturday. You want to build your team, don't come alone on Saturday. Bring friends, because this is the first system that I can emphatically say does exactly what we say it does. And if you do the work, it will work for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm David T. Rosen. Thank you for allowing me into your life for the last 60 minutes. It's been a blast. Let's get busy with it. Thanks, Joe. You can turn this.
The real face of poverty is not just the homeless on the street.
Let's watch the video.
It's the hard-working person who can't make ends meet. The family struggling to pay bills despite having multiple jobs. They are the invisible poor, and their numbers are growing. But poverty can be beat. CoopBusiness has spent over a decade perfecting the solution. An affordable, easy-to-manage solution that provides everyone an equal opportunity to earn a predictable, ongoing passive income. We call it POP Income. By working together cooperatively, we can beat poverty. Join us at coopbusiness.com and let's work together to make a difference in your life and the lives of those you care most about. Together, we can help you live the life you choose, the way you choose to live it. We all deserve to enjoy our full measure of happiness. Together, we can beat poverty, and we can do it with $1 a day. Wealth happens on purpose. Join us today. Go to coopbusiness.com.